She sent Rusty a text saying, "After talking to my dad and attorney, whom have bought land for more than this, it was stated to me that the seller can ask, but you don't have to ask to verify what we have in the bank. Wade and myself both weren't okay with that request. My Uncle Butch is a multi-million-dollar landowner, and he says he has asked and been denied." After that, Rusty got a follow-up email from the Shelley Links AOL email stating, "Banking information is completely confidential. The buyers were not under the assumption a verification letter was required until you requested it in your office. I am sending this verification form since I will be providing the funds. Funds and where they come from is not of importance as long as the seller is paid, from my understanding. The clients are not okay with the seller calling their bank and are firm on their decision in that matter." I'm sorry, but hi, if you're buying a multi-million-dollar property, they're probably going to call the bank to verify that the funds are there and that you're good for it. They're probably not going to just take your AOL email and be like, "Oh, okay, she is the heiress to the syrup company and the gas and the oil at 29 years old. She does have all this money in the bank. Fat chance." So it was a bit passive-aggressive, but these emails made Rusty feel like the deal was at least moving forward and that these were just people who wanted hyper-discretion. But all of that came to a halt in April of 2020, when Taylor contacted Rusty and told him that the deal was dead, which meant he had no chance of getting that $1.15 million in commission. And Taylor told him that her mom had actually lied about everything. There was no oil and gas lease, there was no syrup royalty, and there was no Uncle Butch. Taylor claimed that all of these people, including Shelley Links, were apparently made up by her mother. Now rewind a couple of months to December 2019, during everything starting to fall apart with these properties. Taylor announced that she and Wade were expecting a child and that she was pregnant, and the family and Wade were all very excited. But things continued to be suspicious with Taylor when Taylor bought Wade's mom, Connie, her dream car. Connie loved this gray Nissan Altima Platinum. She had looked for this car for a long time prior without any luck. Then, Taylor bought her the car and was once again the hero. But just a few weeks later, Taylor called Wade and told him to have Connie come drop the car off in the driveway. She told him that the car had a recall on it and that the dealership would be picking it up. This did not sit right with Wade's mom, Connie, but she hesitantly drove it over, but not before telling her husband that they would never see the car again. Her husband told her that she didn't know that for sure, which she replied, "Yeah, I do know it. I do know it. Dealerships don't just pick up vehicles on recall. It didn't make any sense." So a couple weeks went by and she hadn't heard anything about the car, so she went ahead and called the dealership. The dealership informed her that there was no recall on the car, but instead that the car had never been paid for. And as this lie was unraveling, Taylor had also been promising Wade's dad a new barn to replace the one that he lost in a fire. But obviously that was not going to happen because clearly Taylor didn't have any of the money for any of these things. Everything was fallen apart. So then in March of 2020, Taylor publicly announced her pregnancy on social media, just as the world began shutting down due to the pandemic. She proudly shared that she was due on September 22nd, 2020, and apparently she wasn't wasting any more time on those minor money issues anymore since she now had to start planning for this baby. But there was one major red flag for Angela Pate, who is related to Wade by marriage. Angela and Taylor had apparently gotten close, and Taylor often vented to her about her relationship issues with Wade and how she was worried that Wade would leave her. In addition to that, apparently Taylor had confided in Angela that she had a prior hysterectomy. Taylor told Angela that before telling Wade that she was pregnant, she should take another pregnancy test to really confirm this is true. Taylor assured her that she was pregnant and told her that this pregnancy was intended by God. Taylor was excited. She was showing all of her family and friends her sonogram pictures, her test results, everything relating to the baby. If it was related to the baby, she was sharing it, even urine test results. Like TMI overkill, but she was excited and she was proud. And in April of 2020, Taylor sent a pregnancy confirmation to Angela saying, here's the confirmation from my nurse. I am pregnant. I know you were worried, but there's nothing to worry about. But there was just one problem that Angela noticed with the letter. The name of the nurse who signed the letter had the same name as the patient of the letter that it was confirming to be pregnant. So basically, the letter said that the nurse was pregnant,